This brief presentation is based on the book Data Driven Marketing by Mark Jeffrey, who is a professor in Kellogg School of Business, in which he talks about 15 metrics in marketing, which are very popular, which are very widely known. And in this small video, I'm going to be speaking about five of this, the first five of these that the author talks about. The first of this is called brand awareness. If you think about it, when the word Dettol, which comes to your when you talk about the word Dettol, which is not a dictionary word, what comes to your mind is an antiseptic. When you talk about the word Colgate, what comes to your mind is a toothpaste. The ability for individuals to recognize these, that is Colgate as a toothpaste and let's say Dettol as a antiseptic, is the whole idea of what is brand awareness. If I took the name of a brand in Africa, of a product which is manufactured in Africa, I may not be aware of it. If I make name of a product which is manufactured in the Netherlands, I may not be aware of it. There could be a product which is very popular in Japan, I may not be aware of it. Therefore, the awareness, only if I connect the name of the word with the product, can you really say that the manufacturer or the person who's interested with marketing the product is successful. It need not just be about dictionary words. If you think about it, lemon tree, okay, lemon tree is a plant on which, a tree on which a lemon grows, but a good number of you would be aware of the fact that lemon tree is the name of a hotel chain. Similarly, Pepperfry is an Indian online manufacturer of, not exactly a manufacturer, but let's say they deal with furniture, uh, into second-hand sales and all of that stuff. So Pepper Dry is a very prominent name, especially in the metros where you can buy used furniture, buy new furniture, and all of that. Again, if I said Blue Dart, so a large number of you would, of course, understand I'm referring to a courier company. So even though, strictly speaking, you could have a dart which is blue in color, but that's not what I'm referring to. So brand awareness is essentially the idea that if I take a name, the customer should be able to understand that it is a product or a service that I'm referring to. Simply put, this can actually be understood by asking a very direct question. Have you heard about it? um, you know what comes to your mind when I say blue dart? So it's a very very simple, but of course in market research it can be more subtle. You can use what is called as spontaneous awareness. You can also use aided awareness, and you can also use top of mind awareness. These are other ways in which you can actually measure awareness about a product or service. I'm not going to go into great detail about it, but yes, the whole idea of brand awareness is that if I talk about a certain name, if I take a certain name, the customer should be able to associate with the product or service which I am pitching for them. Okay, the second concept, the data driven marketing, the second idea is about test drive. So the concept of test drive is pretty simple. So especially when you buy a high value product, we would always want to go and check it out for yourself, perhaps use it, perhaps perhaps the word is coming from the automobile industry, because you're not just simply going to buy a car. You will first go drive the car, make sure that you're comfortable, the seating arrangements, whether it cools well, the overall, the touch and feel, all of that, and how comfortable you are driving the vehicle and all of that. So all of these things come together in your decision, in your purchase decision. So test drive ideally refers to percentage of customers who would actually want to try the product. Of course, it is most common in automobile industry, but you can also relate to the idea that if you go to buy a pair of jeans, you would want to see if it actually fits you or you are comfortable with the color and so on and so forth. So the percentage of customers who try the product before actually buying it is actually best represented or using the data test drive. The third important data point which we talk about is what is called as churn. uh, Churn, the idea is, let's say for instance, if I am Airtel, the telecom company, and I've got 10,000 customers this year, and at the end of the year, if I'm only able to retain 90,000, or say 9,000 rather, if I have 10,000 customers, only 9,000 is with me, which means 1,000 customers have left us. So 1,000 out of 10,000, that is 10 percentage. So the churn rate in this instance is 10 percentage. Okay, so in some ways, churn rate is also associated with what is called as retention rate. So 1 minus retention rate gives you the churn rate. So in the case of the Airtel example I just narrated now, if I could retain 90% of the customers, it also means that 10% of my customers have left me, which therefore the churn rate is 10. Another important marketing metric that the author talks about is called as what he calls as CSAT, or customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction essentially tells me how satisfied a customer is with my product or service, and this is best measured by using the metric called using the question, how likely are you to recommend your product or service to your friend? This idea essentially means that I am going to recommend a product or service to a friend only if I'm really, really, really happy and satisfied with the product. So typically on a scale of 1 to 10, if I like the product at say around 8 and higher, or 8.5 and higher, only then would I recommend it. Because if I recommend a product, I'm also in some ways endorsing it, and if I recommend a product and my friend is not happy with it, in some ways I lose my credibility and there is a loss of face for me as well. So I would only recommend a restaurant or a product or anything which I've tried if I'm 100% or near 100% satisfied and I'm very sure about the quality of the product. So the customer satisfaction is best measured using the question, would you recommend this would you recommend customer satisfaction is best measured using question, would you recommend this product or service to a friend? And on a 10-point scale, if you score 8 or higher, you could say that there's a good chance that you're very satisfied customer. Next measure that I'm going to talk about is what is called as take rate. So take rate ideally measures the percentage of customers who takes up a marketing offer. Very often when you visit a mall or a shopping center, people accost you with various kinds of marketing offers. People could be offering you a free credit card. They would request you to sign up for it, or somebody is moving around trying to sell a confectionery or a bakery product, or somebody is trying to give you a free soft drink, trying to promote the product. So the percentage of customers that accept this offer, that is the free marketing offer, is actually an indication of take rate. The percentage of customers who accept a marketing offer is measured using the take rate. So those are the first 5 marketing metrics which the author talks about in his book, Data Driven Marketing. Let me repeat those. The first is brand awareness, is the ability to recall a brand. Second is test drive, the percentage of customers who use the product before actually buying it, that is test the product or service before buying it. Third is churn, which is the number of customers who leave you after a year, typically measured in a year. Number of customers who stop being your customer after 1 year. Typically this is most a meaningful measure in the case of services. Metric is CSAT, customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction measures your level of happiness with the product, and it is typically measured using the question, would you recommend this product or service to my friend? And on that scale of 10, if you score 8 or higher, you could say that you are highly satisfied. And the last metric is take rate, that is the number of customers who would accept a marketing offer which is given to them.